All right, Nate. Looks like all the locker rooms at TPC Craig Ranch are safe. Wyndham Clark wins the Byron Nelson, man, shooting 11 under in round four, shooting a 28 on the back nine. And even though Siwoo Kim made 33 birdies this week, it wasn't enough to fend off Wyndham Clark, man. But guys, man, I'm happy that you're here. If you're back, thanks for returning. If you're new here, my name is Jeremy Davis, former NFL player and host of the best YouTube golf show out there, Golf and Gospel. Check it all out at golfandgospel.com. And who's my co-host? The best PT in all the Southwest, former Nebraska Cornhusker golfer, my dog, Nate Wong. Despite him shooting 81 yesterday at Wigwam Gold Course. At Wigwam Gold Course.
Man, that's stuck, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do too well. I started off kind of like doing well, and then obviously golf came back and humbled me.
You're like, I'm about to break 80.
I know. I try not to think about it. I know. I try not to think about it at all. Like it's to the point I feel like, yo, someone else needs to just hold my scorecard, so I'm just clueless. And I don't want to know anything that's going on because for some reason it continues to get in my head. But guys, please make sure you tap in with Golf and Gospel Podcast on all podcast platforms. We're available everywhere you listen: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as Amazon, and everywhere. Don't matter where you get your podcast, we're on there. And be sure to download, subscribe, and stay connected with us. And if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to share it with somebody. Rate us, like, subscribe, comment, do all those things. But if you don't like us, I've said before, say something in the comments. Say, hey, man, y'all trash. I'll never listen to y'all again. And we'll be like, why? And then you can give us a critique, and we can get better, and you can give us another shot. Now, if you do critique us and it makes no sense, we'll argue with you in the comments. But please, guys, make sure you engage with the podcast. Because truth be told, man, again, most underrated podcast out there. And you guys know it. I think you might be a little jealous. I'm just saying. But you can always prove us wrong here. But, Nate, let's get right into it, dog. The Byron Nelson breakdown. Wyndham Clark, which is tough for me. He wins. But dog, tell me something you liked about Wyndham Clark's game, man. He gets a victory here. And I will say this first off: the Byron Nelson is not a tough tournament at all. The scoring average every year is somewhere 30 under, so it's not tough.
Yeah, the winning score was 30-1, and now it was 30 this week.
Yeah, so it's nothing tough about the course. And I would say the field was not that tough either. The best player was obviously world number 1. The next best one was Siwoo Kim, who's world number 24. So I'm not trying to discredit Wyndham because he did win, but it's like you didn't beat the Rorys, the Xanders, the Justin Rose, the Cam Youngs. I'm just saying. But go ahead, Nate.
I do think if Xander was in it or like some other guys, like Spieth was in it, and Spieth was kind of up there.
We're going to talk about Spieth
and
a little later.
You know, he fell off really early in the weekend. Yeah. Wyndham made a lot of putts, though. A lot of long putts. And they were saying that. They were like, they kept referencing when he won the Arnold Palmer in 2024.
Yeah.
What's with him winning golf tournaments named after like famous golfers? Anyways,
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to put his name in that category.
Yeah, I know. And the crazy thing was like, dude, he put it away. Like when he made that putt on 18, it was like, dude, Siwoo Kim isn't even finished yet, you know, and Scottie's still playing. But it's like, yeah, they already had too many strokes at that point. But
yeah, his putter got yes,
super hot, and he hit every freaking fairway on the back nine. I mean, he was in good position on the back nine every hole, and made a lot of, dude. His putter was just crazy though. It reminded me of when he won in the Arnold Palmer. He made like 150 feet of putts at the Arnold Palmer, and today he probably made 1,000 feet of putts.
Yeah, no, his putter was so impressive, dog. And they keep talking about how he's been tinkering, switching putters and stuff. He's finding one that's working. And part of me, bro, I don't know his old caddy well, John Ellis. I mean, we follow each other on IG. Shout out to John Ellis.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there. And I was like, man, it's good that there's no friction between y'all after being fired. I think maybe he's still Wyndham's swing coach or some sort. I think maybe I could be wrong with that. But the fact that like they're still on good terms after being, I won't say fired, it might be aggressive. I mean, that is what happened.
After they broke up,
After they broke up, and for him to still be supportive and Wyndham just go out there and ball out, I'm like, man, good for you, John Ellis. But I mean, I can't discredit the way Wyndham was putting, man. It was impressive. I mean, shooting 20 on the back nine is just incredible, man. No bogey free, and like I said, despite Siwoo Kim making 33 birdies this weekend, he got second. Just really
27 under.
Yeah, I just hope Wyndham does not go back to Like when he first won and he started making like comments about like, yeah, we need to shrink the fields and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you just got here. You just got here.
I
Don't
know.
go back. Don't go back to those comments, man.
I think that's why people started hating because we didn't know who he was when he won, and we're like, oh, we kind of like this guy. Good swing, held off Rory, and we don't like Rory.
Yeah, and had a good
fans,
story. It had a good story with all
yeah,
the mental health stuff. So we're like, yo, everyone's fans of
yeah.
Wyndham.
So
He
yeah,
got
so we
very
like this
boastful.
guy, and then
Yeah.
he got very like, I have a seat at the table. Everybody needs to listen to my opinion, and then he starts saying things about like Tiger Woods' golf tournament isn't
the
good or something
heroes.
like that, and it's like, dude, breaking locker rooms at
Yeah.
Oakmont. It's like, dude, he very quickly became the least liked golfer, most hated golfer on tour.
Yeah. But hopefully, on this podcast, we believe people can be sanctified. Maybe his heart can be changed. I mean, he's revamped his whole team, new girlfriend, new caddy. Maybe his heart's also going to change too. But very impressive win for Wyndham Clark. Despite, again, I'm just saying what it is. The field was not that tough and that course is not that hard. But for a guy like Wyndham Clark, we didn't have any expectations for him to win. We probably think like, okay, maybe Scottie can feels what it feels like to win again. Siwoo Kim, who's the next best player in the field. Maybe Jordan Spieth finally comes alive and whatnot. But we get a guy like Wyndham Clark. So shout out to Wyndham Clark for getting. What were your thoughts about Siwoo Kim's game? Like I've mentioned, he made 33 birdies this weekend. But unfortunately wasn't able to, close it out.
Dude, I don't know, like, because historically, he has when he's like got a comfortable lead, he like gives it away. I felt like he was still chasing like all day today.
Even when he had the lead, you're saying?
Yeah, like it didn't feel like
Yeah.
he dropped off, more or less. Like yeah, that's like really my take. Like I felt like any other weekend he would have won, with that lead. But it's just like someone shoots 28 on the back nine. It's hard to beat that.
Right, and Wyndham came out of nowhere. Man, my thing with Siwoo Dog is we saw this at the beginning of the season. A lot of people applauded him for not going over to LIV and being the captain of the Korean GC, which obviously that's not working out for Korean GC because they don't do well on LIV at all. And he had like a bunch of top fives to start off. We like, man, he's so close. If he can just get aggressive with his putter, because he's aggressive off the tee, he's aggressive on his pro shots, aggressive out the bunker. But then he was really passive putting. And I think he was very aggressive putting this week. I think he did very well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, bogeys came and got him at the most inopportune time. We did not want to see that. But his putter also saved him a lot. He started to miss some greens. And he would one putt and save par so many times. I'm like, man, you have to keep this up. But my only fear at the time is like, Scottie's right there now. You got to stop missing greens. But then Scottie really wasn't performing as well either. Which leads me to the question. Have we seen the end of Scottie Scheffler's dominance? Now, before the audience and you stands get all sensitive, I'm saying his dominance. Is he going to win again? He probably will. But what we saw Scottie do from 2022 to 2025, we're really not seeing much of that. And everyone keeps using the excuse, oh, he's playing bad. He just, like, what are we saying he's playing bad? Bro, because my take on that is, are we saying that other players, and I've said this before, have they just stayed the same and Sky's just digressed? Or are other players getting better? I think other players are getting better, and Scottie obviously has to move along with that. And that's just part of golf. People regress in certain categories in their game. Obviously, we see with Spieth and whatnot, he's been excellent with irons, but he's been terrible putting. His putting has digressed. But have we seen the end of Scottie's dominance? I would love to know your thoughts on that, Nate.
Dude, that's one of my hot takes is by this time next year, maybe not this time next year, but I think at some point in 2027, I think Scottie's going to lose his world number one. Ooh. I think he's going to get dethroned. I think it's going to be a Cam Young or it's going to be a Matt Fitzpatrick. Because, so right now I'm looking at Scottie, obviously number one FedEx Cup, but he's played a lot of events, got a lot of second places. And when you're doing FedEx Cup points, you're not counting DP World Tour tournaments. So Rory, a few tournaments didn't count, and Matt Fitzpatrick, a few tournaments didn't count. And Matt Fitzpatrick is like 50 points behind Scottie for FedEx Cup points. And that's like missing like 5 events because he played overseas a bunch. So I don't know. I think some guys are going to take him down. I think it's going to be a little bit of like Nelly and Gino.
I like that take, man. And again, this is nothing against Scottie. Again, I know some of you guys are crying. Some of you guys are probably in our comments giving us hate words right now, but he's not as dominant as he was before. That's not saying that Scottie's not a good golfer. That's not saying that he's not a great golfer. But the dominance performance that he was doing in 2022 to 2025 has not really shown since the American Express. His dominance. Because, like, I feel like in those years that I just named, if you were in the final pairing group with Scottie, you were scared. You were scared. No one's going to vocalize that, but like I remember, what was it, him and Alex Noren in the PGA Championship final pairing group wasn't even close. Wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Now I think
Yeah,
this
Noren
year, like,
didn't. Yeah.
yeah. When it was Robin McIntyre and Scottie in the final pairing group with the BMW Championship, Scottie came like you don't really sense that fear anymore from guys. They just like, man, Scottie, you pack your golf bag and you put your shoes on just like me. And people are going out there and beating him. Matt Fitzpatrick's
Final
going
pairing
out there and
today.
beat him. Final pairing today. Lost to Siwoo, technically. You let Wyndham Clark come back. You lost to Matt Fitzpatrick in the final. Man, and it's crazy because I think who's going to hate this the most if he's not as dominant is the PGA Tour IG page. Because what do you talk about when the face of the franchise is not winning? And like I said, I thought it was such a reach when it was like, yo, he's the first player to have 3 solo seconds in a row. I'm like, we're glorifying losing now? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Again, I feel like I gotta keep saying this because people are gonna get sensitive. This does not mean that Scottie is not great, but his dominance, we're not seeing that we saw in the past 3 years from 2022 to 2025. So it's up for discussion. I think he will win again some point this year, but he has not been the same dominant, scary boogeyman type of golfer that we've seen in the past, man. So I don't think he's playing next week at the Charles Schwab, so he'll probably also prepare himself to get ready to play in the Memorial, which that's one that he typically wins a lot, Jack Nicklaus tournament. So be a little while before we see Scottie again and stuff like that. This was great things we saw about Blaze Brown, man, the 19-year-old PGA Tour player or professional golfer, man. He got a special temporary membership if he got a solo 21st or better this week. And I think he has a couple of options of what he wants to do. I believe he can either play on the PGA Tour, he can simply continue to do Korn Ferry Tour if he doesn't want to accept the membership, or he can do some sort of like dual membership playing in both Korn Ferry as well as the PGA Tour. Nate, what do you think the best thing for Blaze Brown to do?
Well, I mean, I just don't know if there's going to be like any punishment if he like plays in the PGA Tour events and loses status, because I think that's the incentive. Is like, dude, if you stink at a PGA Tour event and you miss the cut, you get nothing. Whereas if you play in the Korn Ferry, you make the cut, you at least like inch toward more PGA Tour status, and it's probably a little bit easier for him to make the cut at a Korn Ferry event. But
yeah,
I mean, if you bet on yourself, go freaking take the PGA stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, technically, we look at the stats. He's 6 of 8 cuts made on the Korn Ferry, and now I think he's 6 of 7 cuts made on the PGA Tour. So kind of balanced this year. And the cuts he has made on the PGA Tour, he got a T18 at the American Express. That's the one I think he ended up. He was in the final pairing group with Scottie. Remember, he finished playing like a Korn Ferry event, came over on Wednesday, got to the American Express, and I believe he was playing incredible. He finished T18 there. He got a solo third at the Puerto Rico Open, T40 at the Valspar, T26 at the Zurich, and then a T9 at the One Flight Myrtle Beach Classic. And then obviously this week he finished really well to obviously earn this special membership. So, I mean, obviously I know Blaze Brown's a believer. He's probably going to, pray on it, seek discernment and see what he should do and see where the Lord leads him. But from an outside looking in, I think you go play on the PGA Tour.
I think bet on yourself. If you're that good too, like.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who's capable of being in a couple top 5s, especially like, let's say if it's like an elevated event and you have to go play like a Myrtle Beach Classic or like, the Puerto Rico Open. I feel like he can sneak around and win one of those. Big time.
I think so too. He's got to bet on himself. I can't. Did he? No, he didn't say anything in his interview with Amanda today.
No, he kind of.
What I just said. I'm very grateful about it. Yeah, like he said stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna weigh his options. I mean, we'll see by the time this podcast comes out if he has made a decision. And stuff. I think he said he's playing in North Carolina next week. But yeah, I mean, Blaze Brown his name's always floating at the top of the leaderboard. He's kind of like an Aaron Rye guy. It's like, what are you doing up there, Blaze Brown? And then unfortunately he doesn't finish the way he wants. But if he can have like that strike lightning in the bottle type, tournament like Aaron Wright had for the PGA Championship, I would not be surprised if Blaze Brown wins a PGA tournament because he's a very good golfer. I mean, I don't think he's won the Korn Ferry or the PGA Tour, but at 19 years old, bro, this is very impressive, the things that you're doing, and I think he should take the opportunity to play on the PGA Tour. But
Yeah, and I think the maturity is there. Like he's kind of grinded a
yeah.
little bit on the Korn Ferry, so like I think the maturity is there for that kid.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No. I just say I agree with you, man. Like I said, hopefully we see a decision in the next upcoming hours or a few days or so. But I mean, he's a very talented golfer, man. I'm always impressed when he's in the field, and like I said, 6 or 7 cuts made on the PGA Tour. That's more. That's a better average than what Tony Finau has of 9 of 13.
I was gonna say like it's better than a lot of guys that rank higher than him. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, man. But Nate, let's talk about this, man. Which non-major winner do you think will be the next one to win a major PGA major, or well, I guess it's not a PGA event, but win their next major on both the PGA and on the LPGA?
Yeah, you have to go with Cam Young for the PGA, and you have to go with Gino for the LPGA.
Yeah, those aren't bad takes.
I was gonna say Matt Fitzpatrick already won a major. Yeah. So you have to go with those two. Because Cam Young is playing the best golf he's ever played right now, and he won kind of a major.
The Players.
Are you not going to count the? We're going to. Yeah, it's not a major. Yeah,
Until they officially say it's a major, then
it's not a major.
He doesn't have one. But I know it has the makings of being like a major. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if they were to make it a major, and we've discussed this before, like I just think people's mindset going into it will be a little different because it's a major. Even though it does play like, and they say it's the 5th major, maybe it doesn't change their mind. But I would think like because how this goes in your
you won't get Rory going there early. Like he doesn't do that. He won't do that for the Players unless it's a major.
That's true. Even though, like I said, the Players has significant implications to like what it does when you win. I'm not mad at that take, man. I'm gonna go with a unique answer. I'm going with Minwoo Lee, bro. The reason why I picked Minwoo Lee is because, from my understanding and the research I've had, and if you're in the comments, prove me wrong, I don't remember Minwoo Lee like having any type of lead going into Sunday and blowing it. So Cam Young, great pick. Some people probably say Ludwig. I'm like, man, I've seen Ludwig have the lead and blow it too much for me to trust him. I don't think Patrick Cantlay. I think Ricky Fowler might be past his season of getting majors. Now, again, all these guys can prove me wrong. We've seen J.J. Spawn and Aaron Rye win majors, so anyone can win. But when Minwoo Lee is on, he's on. And obviously, when he saw him dominate when he won his first PGA Tour at the Houston Open, he hung on to it. And I haven't just seen evidence of him blowing one late to make me say, like, you can't. Like Jake Knapp, I can't trust Jake Knapp right now because he's always kind of in contention.
Yeah. Lost to Kurt Kitayama in the 3M.
Yeah, I remember that, bro. That was a random win for Kurt Kitayama. I remember that.
Yeah.
So I just think Minwoo Lee, man, when his ball striking's on, he's probably one of the best on tour. I think he can be the next one to win a major. So obviously we'll see when the U.S. Open gets here, as well as the Open. But I like Minwoo Lee. And for women's, I'm going with Roseanne, bro. We look back at her, I believe her 2023 or 2024 season. 3 out of the 4 majors she played in, she got top 10s. Then unfortunately the next year, she sustained that neck injury. She was balanced in school, which was kind of tough. Now she's graduated from Stanford, trying to acclimate to what it is to be, full-time LPGA Tour player. And I think once she starts to like really hone in on a routine, I think Roseanne can be your next non-major winner to win a major.
Has been playing better. Has been sneaking up there. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And shout out to her caddy, Will Davison, on the bag, man. Great dude. I think they're definitely due for one. Once they just kind of hone in and figure out, the structure of everything, not being in school, not being at Stanford anymore. But there's nothing wrong with Gino. Gino's for sure one who's close. Unfortunately, we just seen too many times Gino just kind of be like up top 5, or you get the opportunity, it's like lost to Grace Kim. The thing that sucks about Gino as well, not winning one is like, it's kind of like things she can't control. I can't control Grace M chipping in for birdie, or
Chipping in, yeah.
throwing a dart for
Dart
an
for
eagle.
eagle. Yeah.
It's like, what else do I got to do? It's not like Gino's kind of going towards the end.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I like Gino, especially with what happened it was at the Evian with Grace Kim. It was like, dude, I don't know. I think Tiger Woods would have lost to Grace Kim, off the same tees. Yeah. In a playoff, like if it was like, if they were tied the last 3 holes, because it was like she eagled and then
she,
I think
she like
eagle.
Like that.
Yeah, it was like eagle, birdie, eagle.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like she had like I think Tiger Woods would have lost her off the same tees. Like that, it was talk about lightning in a bottle. Yeah. Talk about lightning in a bottle, dude. It was crazy. But so I
like the Gino pick. Gino's a good pick, man. And and as much as we talk about, man, we love rivalries and stuff. I want to continue to see like the rivalry and the strain between Nelly and Gino. I don't want Nelly to just kind of sweep the majors and stuff like that. Not to say that she would, because sweep the majors would be the craziest thing to ever see right now. But not to say that she is going to do that. But thus far, just from what we see in the dominance that Nelly's had, it's just like, I think Nelly's worst finish this year is a T8. So it's just like,
yeah, dude, Nelly has been killing it. Yeah,
and unfortunately, Gino missed the first major with a Chevron. So
yeah.
So, we will see, man. But guys, let us know in the comments, who you think could be, the next non-major winner to win a major. And there are a lot of names out there. I know there are a lot of Ludwig fans out there, a lot of Cam Young fans out there. Won't say there are a lot of Patrick Cantlay fans out there, but a lot of Tony Finau fans out there. Like there are a lot of tour pros out there that like have the capability to win a major, but we just have not seen it yet. So let us know, man. Also, again, please like, subscribe, comment, rate us on Spotify. Talk trash about us. We don't care. Let's just get Golf and Gospel podcasts out there. All right, man. I got a new segment I want us to start doing. It's called the Hot Take of the Week. So Spieth_Camp said this on Twitter, or on X, excuse me. Jordan Spieth will never win again in his career, and he won't get a single T10 this season. Bold take. Nate, what are your thoughts about that?
I don't want to say that. I just don't want to say that's true, because Spieth had little glimpses. PGA Championship, he was, up and around the leaderboard days 1 and 2, and then this weekend up and around the leaderboard days 1 and 2. But just I don't know where he goes, and he has the mental fortitude to bring it together on the weekends. We know it. He's shown it very early in his career, and I think other times sprinkled it throughout. But I don't know, man. I will not accept that. I think Spieth is gonna win, but I do get a little piece of me. I said it earlier this year, I think, but it's like a little piece of me is like, if Spieth continues to stink this year, like he might lose his tour card. Like,
yeah, I mean, it is rough, bro, because obviously for Spieth, consistency has been an issue. Sometimes, like you said, we see this vintage Spieth, and it's like, dang, he just shot 29 on the front 9. Then on the back 9, he shoots 37. And it's just like, man, we're sick of this. And like, I get it. When he does his interviews and they ask him how's his game feeling, and he says he feels like his irons are the best they've ever felt, even at the height of his game, that may be true. But unfortunately, the putting is not working in conjunction with that. And even when we look at this weekend, round 2, bro, shoots 9 under, top of the leaderboard. We're like, oh my gosh, Spieth is playing crazy. But then you get this round 3 Spieth where he shoots 2 over. And then it's just like, what are we doing? I think he finished his T19. His best finish this year is a T11. So
no top 10s, dude.
No top 10s for Jordan Spieth, bro. So when
crazy.
I saw that,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Wyndham Clark. They were saying it on the broadcast today. Wyndham Clark was talking about how he does not feel like he's hitting the ball well. And guess what? Goes out, hits amazing this weekend. Hits like every fairway on the back 9, and then putts amazing. Yeah. And maybe Spieth just has to do that. It's just be like, hey, I suck at hitting golf balls right now. And he'll finally start to just rope iron shots to 3 feet, and he can't miss that putt, He
can't miss those putts. He can't. But it's crazy because sometimes he still does. He still does for some reason.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say it's a stretch to say that he's never going to win again. Maybe
not get top 10.
Top 10 is, I mean,
that's the crazy part too.
It is because his name is so huge, but it's just like
But he
it's
plays
such.
out
It's
of
like
it every week.
yeah, because it's like this is the worst part. It's like man, I can see if you don't get a top 10 at the Players, the Arnold Palmer Memorial, these signature events. But man, not getting a top 10 at the Byron Nelson, which is right down the street from your crib, that makes you a little concerned. Because like I said,
Yes,
Byron Nelson is
dude.
not a hard. I mean, not Byron Nelson. The TPC Craig Ranch is not a hard course for a tour pro. These guys are shooting 27 under, 30 under, and it's like Spieth. Why can't your game show up here? Like, why can't it? So I'm not going to say he's
I mean,
never
it
going to win.
does. It just
I think
doesn't show up consistent.
it
Yeah.
doesn't. Yes, I think Spieth might pull a Rory, and we might have to wait till he's about 36 to win a PGA Championship to get the career Grand Slam. The only thing that sucks about that situation is that Rory already knows what Augusta's going to do because they're at the same place every year. The PGA Championship is just like we don't which venue are we at, and we don't know if that venue is gonna if that
How they're going to
matches
set
like
it up.
how
Yeah.
they're gonna set it up, how it matches his shot shape, how it matches his game, we don't know. But when you say, okay, I play Augusta every year, same course, Rory is able to obviously either practice that on a simulator or go and know like this is the same course I'm gonna get. Spieth, we don't know if it's gonna be at Bandon Dunes, is it gonna be at Shinnecock, is it gonna be at all these? We don't know.
Quail Hollow,
So
yeah.
we just don't know. And maybe he has like some history there, but like it's not like the Masters where it's every single year, man. So
Yeah. And the Masters is set up the same ish every
same
single year.
Sunday pins the same. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. They might move a tee box back or so, every
Yeah, but it's
4 years or
still
something like that.
Yeah,
But still
it's still
similar.
like we know what we're gonna get.
A-Man's corner is still the same. 18 still the same. Bunker to the left over there. Obviously, don't miss right like Rory did. It's a lot. But yeah, when just looking at Spieth in round 3, man. I mean, he went on the back nine. He went bogey, bogey, birdie, bogey, bogey, and then parred out. Like, if you're a diehard Spieth fan, like it is rough watching him, bro. Because you just don't know.
He like
Spieth you're gonna
leads
get.
you on too much because he plays well in the beginning, talks about how his game feels amazing, and you're like, dude, I will propose to Spieth right now, and then he plays the weekend. And you're like, I'm returning the ring,
Give me the ring
like,
back. Give me the ring
Yeah.
back. Yeah. It was funny. So my homie Sarah Court, she was on Golf and Gospel Show. Great personality. And I forgot which tournament we were watching. She was talking about something about how, I don't know if I saw her comment on something saying like Spieth can win the PGA Championship. I was like, you have not been watching golf this year. And then she was in like, we had our little debate about it because he played well like in round 1 or something like that. And it's like the first time he was leading the PGA Championship. I was like, if you watch Spieth enough, you're going to know that round 1 is going to be his outlier, and he's going to show him being normal round 2 and 3. And then he gets himself right out of contention. Now,
hangs out with
me-
JT too much. That's why.
with
Because
JT
JT would be
only-
like 61. We shoot 61 and then shoot even the rest of the time.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I always got to make sure I elaborate on this. I have no problem with Spieth. I would love to see Spieth finally get the career Grand Slam. I would love to see Spieth just simply win again. But his game is showing you that it's just too streaky right now. Too streaky. You get 61 and then you get 74. And as I said on this podcast all the time, I like seeing trends. And when people kept saying like he might get the PGA Championship, he might get the career Grand Slam, I was like, there's nothing in his game that's showing any inclination that he will get that career Grand Slam. Now, he can prove me wrong, and I'm okay being wrong. But I'm like, what the numbers are showing, he's not going to win. So you guys can continue to have a false hope, but he's not going to do it. So, but again, to say never is a bit of a reach. Top 10, it's
Top 10 that's crazy.
But it is what's been happening, which is the bad part. I think this is just me thinking off the top of my head. The last time he might have gotten top 10 might have been last year at the Byron Nelson when he finished second, losing to obviously Scottie Scheffler. I want to fact check myself here, man, because I don't want to lose our credibility as the most underrated, golf podcast out there.
Dude, I do remember thinking like last year, I forgot what made me think this because I don't think he played in the FedEx Cup, right? And I was thinking, dude, this guy might be out. He might be losing status. Like if he doesn't, because I think he's run out of exemptions. So if he like plays outside the top 100, he's going back down in partial status.
No, he did play in the FedEx, but like he didn't make it to the next. He didn't make
He
it
just
to
went to the
BMW.
St. Jude. Yeah.
Yep, he did St. Jude, and then he had to get ready for the Heroes, which he had to wait 4 months to do that until December.
Yeah.
But looking at his results last year, his last top 10 actually came at the Memorial. So, he didn't get second to Byron Nelson. He got fourth, and then he went 34th at the Truist, missed the cut at the PGA Championship last year when everyone was gassing. He got T36 at Charles Schwab, and then Memorial got T7. Then after that, he got no higher than finished 23rd. So, Spieth has a long way. He has a long way to go. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I mean, some people say if he just gets his putting right, he doesn't have a long way to go. But, you kind of hope it's not like how my game is. Putting works, and then irons go away. Then iron works, and then putting goes away. Driver works, but then now you just don't know anymore, man. So, yeah. So, again, to conclude it, saying he's never going to win again, I think it's a bit of a reach. I think he might not get a top 10 this year, especially because I think this was the easiest field he was going to play in. This is the easiest field he was going to play in.
I think that's crazy too. But I mean, granted, like I have no evidence to point me towards the fact that he could get top 10 this year.
I mean, let's look at the rest of the schedule this year, and because again, I think this is unless he goes and plays in the 3M Open or something like that. This have to be your easiest schedule. You got the Charles Schwab next week. Possibly he plays in that. Actually, let's just check.
Isn't that a signature?
Nah, just a regular event because Scottie's not playing in it. Here's the all right is. So this year,
Scottie's not playing in it doesn't mean it's not a signature.
I don't see Scottie skipping signature events. The only reason why he missed the Truist?
Yeah, it was like his kid.
Kid was getting born. Yeah, I don't think he skips signature events. But let me put this in ABC order. Is Spieth? I forgot his last name that quick. Spieth, the Charles Schwab. It's in Texas, man. I'm under the impression that he would play, but he might not. Jordan Spieth, scrolling, and no, he's not in the field. Yeah, JJ Spahn, Hayden Springer. Yeah, so he's not in that field. And then you got the Memorial, which I don't even know if he's probably need an exemption to get into that signature event. My assumption. And then you got the RBC Canadian Open. That field's still going to be tough. I mean, you had guys like Sam Burns, Rory playing in it. Ryan Fox got his second victory there. Then you got the U.S. Open, the Travelers in Connecticut signature event. Unless Spieth goes and plays in the John Deere Classic or the 3M Open or the Rocket Classic, I don't see Spieth getting the top 10 this year. That's just my take and what he's doing. And again, if he goes and does it, I will come back on this podcast and be like, "Congrats for getting the top 10, man." I will swallow my.
You're not gonna pull a Brando and be like, "I'm never mentioning that."
No, I'm not.
That league yet.
Chambly. I'm never. No, I'm not, man. But I want to move over to obviously the most hated golf tour in the world that might be ceasing operations, but they're trying hard to stay alive here. ESPN is reporting that LIV Golf League has received significant interest from potential investors and will soon be presenting its business plan to potential partners. Do you think LIV will secure the funds needed to continue on, Nate?
I don't know. I doubt it because you have to pay these guys a bunch of money, you know? And yeah, I just don't. I think the demand from the players, granted, and I think a lot of them deserve it, especially because they can just go to the PGA Tour and make still a ton of money, or go to YouTube Golf and make a ton of money.
If they make cuts,
yeah. But so I just don't know if you're an investor, like I don't know what kind of return you're gonna get.
Yeah, the main thing you're gonna have to sell these investors on is like, okay, what players do you have? Are you sure Bryce is gonna stay?
Yeah,
John Rahm's still on the contract, so he kind of has to. And you got to figure out a way to get another big name.
Yeah, how are you going to promise a product without commitment from the players?
But I remember seeing a rumor too. Well, I don't even know if it's a rumor. Maybe it really happened that Bryson was sitting in on these meetings. So that is encouraging if you're trying to sell to these investors. However, Bryson could just be sitting on there saying like, okay, I want to hear what y'all are saying so I can decide if I'm going to leave or if I'm going to stay. Now, LIV Golf is beginning to pitch to the prospective investors as early as today. This was posted 2 days ago, with the plans to operate 10 events, global tournament schedule, and seeking up to $350 million in new capital. So you reduce the amount of events. Maybe you're able to obviously take money you were going to have from, yes, and put it into purses and the guaranteed contracts for these players. But I think at minimum they have to get $350 million, or I believe they're going to file for bankruptcy. So
that's crazy.
Yeah,
dude. I also wonder if this might be a conspiracy theory, but I wonder if it's I wonder if one of the people that they met with is Donald Trump, because Bryson was at Donald's one of his things for the State of the Union or something like that. Might have been when he got elected. I think it was when he got elected, because he came out and I was like, Bryson supports Donald, and I wonder if Bryson's like, yo, Donald, hook a brother up, dude. So, and I wonder if there's going to be some repercussions to that. Granted, I think a lot of golf fans don't mind Donald, but I wonder if you kind of make a political statement, there's just going to be repercussions.
I think the only thing though with Donald Trump, bro, obviously being super rich, man, he's like, man, I need return on my investment. I can't. I think he will be. Yeah. Yeah, I can't just be like, hey, I like you a lot, Bryson. I'll do this for the simple pride of just I want to see LIV stay. But it's Trump's like, am I gonna make bread back, or what's this cost to me here? Because they do have tournaments at the Trump course in Virginia. Not sure what that return is, or if he's making money off that, but you can risk obviously trying to pitch to Donald. And you're like, hey man, we'll have 2 tournaments here in America at both your courses. We have one in Miami Doral, we have one, and we'll see if it brings it. Because which that can be pretty fearful too, because when we looked at the Cadillac Championships in Miami for the PGA Tour, it didn't look like anybody was there. So I don't know how much you can really sell in regards to let's have a tournament here because people want to be here. Not a lot of people were there for the PGA event. So I don't know. Like I said, if they don't get this, they got to file bankruptcy. And like I said, I like the strife we have between the tours, because I like the rivalry, and I love every time they get together. It's like this. It's always a conversation. You can say it's not as big as it was when it first started, but every time they get together, it's always LIV versus PGA every single time. Mm-hmm. And I love that rivalry. And then, if we get fortunate enough to see a final pairing group like a Rory and a Bryson, or a Tyrell Hatton and a Cam Young, whatever it may be, it always goes back to LIV representation and PGA representation. Go ahead, you want to say something.
This is the thing though. I wonder if Brandel is ever going to take back his harsh comments about LIV now that they're not Saudi backed.
That's a great point. Part of me thinks he still won't, because he's just such a PGA traditionalist. But that's a good question. That's a great question to ask, because that's what he kind of presented as his main problem, is he doesn't like that it's Saudi backed. So that's a good question. Hey, y'all let us know in the comments, dog. That's a great question.
Dude, what if it's it's not Saudi backed, it's Donald Trump backed? Will he be like, all right, dude, the president backing it?
Yeah, man. You know what? In a hypothetical world, I would love to see that, simply because I want to see what Brandel will say. All because of that. Because there's a lot of things that Brandel doesn't say that I'm like, yo, I need to hear your thoughts on this. Not because I want to, but because you make a comment on this all the time. Let me see you make a comment on this. So that is a great point, man. Moving over to the LPGA real quick, man. Nelly will play in the Dow Championship with good friend Olivia Cohen, a winner on the LET who is ranked 172nd in the world. Nate, do you think that golfers should start trying to look out for their friends in regards to what Matt Fitzpatrick did for his brother? Nelly's over playing with the 172nd person in the world, because a win. And, I do have to check this. I don't know if Olivia Cohen has her LPGA Tour card, but if she does, it does further her ranking in some sort. But do you think golfers should start doing this? Man, I want to help my buddy get his PGA Tour card, LPGA Tour card. Let's try to pair up and see what we can do at the Zurich or the Dow Championship.
Dude, I don't know. Part of me is are we going to get worse golf? But it's Alex Fitzpatrick got his status and goes on and gets 6th the next week, and then goes on and was in the final pairing the week after that and stuff like that. So it's how bad is the 172nd ranked player in the world? She's probably not that bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I know who Olivia Cohen is, but she she's a pretty good golfer. So I don't know, dude. I do like that these golfers are trying to look out for people. And the other thing too is historically, like when I was growing up, everyone's all like, if you want to be good at golf, you have to be kind of an a-hole because if you care for the person that you're playing against, you're
Yeah.
gonna lose because you have some sympathy, and sympathy is gonna take out your competitor in you. And I'm like, that's stupid. You can be nice and be a competitor, you know.
Right. Right.
But uh, but anyways, I think that's kind of like reversing the narrative, if you will. Like it's like you don't have to be an a-hole to be a good golfer.
For sure.
Look at Nelly. She's such a sweet lady
Great
in
person.
all her interviews and stuff like that, and she just stomps people out when she plays against them.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. It says Olivia Cohen got her LPGA Tour card through qualifying school in 2022. Now, does she still have it? I'm not sure.
yeah, well,
Um,
she's gonna be exempt if she wins. Like if she wins, she's gonna have a few years exemption too. It's not like
yeah.
because if you play your way in, you just get it for the next year. If you like earn enough points, but if you win, you're exempt for a few years.
Right. I'm on her LPGA page. I'm trying to see the last LPGA event she played in. She played in two this year, which is the Riviera Maya Open and the Kroger Queen City Championship. So, based on how this schedule looks, I feel like she has like a partial
Yeah,
status.
conditional. Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't think she. So, I mean, she's 2,617.200 CME points behind. So, my understanding, she doesn't have full status, and I think Nelly doing this can probably help elevate that.
yeah, and maybe get her enough some CME points or something like that. You know.
Yes, yes. Now, yeah, CME for sure, because I think unless it's like the Zurich, because Zurich, it does not affect your world ranking because of the team comp, but I think you do get FedEx Cup
Yeah,
and
you
you
get
can
like
get your car.
half. Yeah, you get
Yeah,
like
yeah.
half or 75% of the points though.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But again, guys, if you're still here, man, please like, subscribe, comment, man. Do all the good things, man. I'm sitting here begging and asking for crumbs here. But just like in school, Nate, man, mid-season grades are coming out for the PGA and the LPGA Tour based on their performance, which we're going to do for these tour players, man. Starting out with world number one, what would you grade Scottie thus far for the season?
I wrote down A minus because he does have a win and he has 3 seconds and he had third today. But and one of the seconds he got was at a major. The thing is
Masters, yeah.
at that caliber, we expect more. So I give him an A minus.
See, I'm gonna be harsh, and for you, Scotty stands that are watching, it's your fault. It's your fault. I'm giving Scotty a B. I'm giving Scotty a B plus because of the expectations we put on him to be. Oh, he's
It's
almost like
true. Yes.
Tiger. He's like the greatest and stuff. And again, he is great. He's a phenomenal golfer. But the expectations and how much we hype him up and gratifying solo seconds and stuff, I have to give him a B plus because what he is supposed to be or what we're claiming that he is, he's not living up to that at all.
Well,
Again, I don't
and
expect him to lose to Matt Fitzpatrick, and I don't expect him to lose to Siwoo Kim or Wyndham Clark. And unfortunately, that's been happening. So I'm giving Scotty a B plus.
And the other thing too is like this is the first year, or this year is the first time in a long time he got 13th. Like he got played out of 13th or whatever. So I do
Hmm.
think that kind of like it's like, dude, you lost your trend, you lost your momentum a little bit. So,
Yeah, yeah,
anyways,
yeah, yeah. Next person I got, Nelly Korda. What do you grade her this season?
dude, yeah, I know she had a little bit of a lull, but it's like, dude, you have to give her an A plus. So
Yeah,
6 of her last 7 tournaments, she was either first or second.
yeah.
So and the seventh tournament, she was eighth. Like you said, her worst finish this year was T8.
So
So
incredible.
imagine being dude, you're either first or second every tournament. That's crazy. That's really
Yeah.
impressive. And she's back to world number one. She got her spot back. So
Mhm.
and she was on Pat McAfee. So
Because of us. No one wants to
because
admit
of
it.
us.
It's
Yeah,
because of us. No one
yeah,
will
that's
admit it.
right.
Yes. I give her A plus too, man. I mean, 2 wins, 3 2s, and her worst finish is a T8. And I gave her a hard time about, winning the first event on the LPGA. Because I'm like, man, they canceled that just so they can give you the win because it's hard to advertise the face of the franchise when you're not winning. And I'm just like, if
She didn't
anyone
win
else
last
was,
year. Yeah.
she didn't win last year. And I'm like, man, if anyone else was leading, I don't think y'all would have called it quits early. But because Nelly was winning, y'all called it quits early so she can get her victory. And part of me is saying, if they didn't give her that win, would she still been dominant as she is now? Because it's something about getting that win, and it can do a lot for projecting you for the rest of the
Yeah.
season. So I wonder if the LPGA did her a favor by handing her first win, and that boosted her confidence, and she just went on to be dominant for the rest of the year. But I'm just stirring up some controversy. People are probably not going to like that comment. However, I do give Nelly an A+. She's playing phenomenal golf. Next person I got is Gino Titicun.
So I wasn't as harsh to Gino because she's young. It was her first time at World Number One. So I gave her a B+ because the other thing too is her wrist was bugging her at the CME, and it sounded like she had to like go through a bunch of stuff. She had an MRI and stuff like that. And when she came back, she won in the beginning of this year. But I think that's like the post-injury. You play freely. You took a break, so your mind's not in the way. And now when the mind's back in, you actually have to shake off the rust. You actually have to rely on your preparation. And she wasn't that prepared. So she's training back in the right direction right when we're doing a little midterms. So I think we have to throw the plus back in there, but yeah, it's just I still think it's kind of disappointing for her being a former World Number One.
You know, it's funny just how we're both looking at things. I gave her an A-. Yeah, I mean, she missed the Chevron, which was obviously very detrimental to her game and her status as a player. But, to come back and recover, win the Mizuho, I think they said she had a minor wrist surgery during the season, so that could have some effect on, her game, obviously. But being able to capture her second win and being one of the 4 players to have, multiple wins this season, I'm being a little bit lenient, giving her A- because it's due to injury. If it was Scottie, he had a little injury, and he was getting a bunch of seconds, I'd be like, man, he's playing through this, A-. But Scottie still gets his B+. But I got Gino. I got Gino at an A-.
Well, she's younger too, you have
and her
to
first time
that.
being a number 1, like you said too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Next player.
Next player we got Xander Schauffele.
Dude. Okay, I think this is harsh, but I'm gonna be harsh with this guy.
Okay.
C.
Wow.
Maybe C- because the only good thing from this year was third at the Players. I feel like getting inside the top 10 at the Masters is a terrible consolation prize. It's the reason why is because we had such high hopes for him after 2 major wins
in 1 year.
Mm-hmm. And then last year was like the rib injury, and I just feel like it's been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment for a year and a half with Xander.
Wow.
And I don't know, dude. He's 2-time major winner, so that means it's not a fluke.
Yeah. He affirmed it. They're like, okay, you won the PGA Championship. No, did he win? Yeah, he won the PGA Championship first.
He won the PGA Championship
and then won the Open.
Bryson. Then won the Open, and it's like,
yeah.
And this year, it's like, dude, I feel like top 10 is like not good. Like you have to, yeah. I mean, granted, for like a random person, it's amazing. But it's like, dude, we expect contention. Like, I feel like he fought and clawed his way to top 10 instead of like I was contending, and I dropped down to 10th because I was going for a pin. I was going for a par 5 or something like that. So I expect a lot more from Xander.
Yeah.
C-.
C- for Xander Schauffele, man. I gave him a B+, man. 10 of 11 cuts made this year. Obviously, he had the longest active cut streak before he missed the first event that he played in. But, obviously at the solo third at the Players, 5 top 10s this year, 2 top 5s, and then 8 top 25s. The only reason why I'm giving him a B+ is because he doesn't play well on Saturdays. He plays well. Round 1 scoring average, he's ranked 12th. Round 2 scoring average, he's ranked 26th. And then that Saturday, bro, round 3 scoring average, he's ranked 111th. And then round 4, he's ranked 20. Exactly. It's his Saturday is messing him up. So if he would just play, and like we said, we're not asking you to go be in the top 5 in scoring average on Saturday. But like we said about Matt Fitzpatrick, when he was like ranked, 80-something in putting, he got down to 42, you started winning. We just need you to at least get ranked in call it the 70s. and we'll probably see a
Yes,
lot
dude.
more wins from Xander.
I remember we said it was like moving day. You just can't move down. You just
Yeah,
can't move
yeah.
down.
And he does that, bro. He moves down. So, bro, all his scoring averages round 1, 2, and 4 are in the 60s. And then Saturday we're in the 70s. So he does amazing. Because usually going into Saturday, Xander's like in the top 5. And then he does something bad Saturday, gets to like 13th, and then plays really good Sunday, and then finishes 6th or 4th or somewhere around there.
It's like he's never fight. Like I feel like he's never in it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I need like moments like even
Yeah,
like the best thing I think about is like if when John Rahm was in it at the PGA Championship, like we needed a little glimpse of that.
Yeah, both
throughout
this year and last year with John Rahm. Yeah.
At any point this year or last year, but we just even the players like he was like he got third, but we didn't feel like
he was a clubhouse leader for a while, but like he never went into Sunday like Xander Schauffele has a chance to win this tournament.
Yeah, well, we thought it was gonna be he was clubhouse leader, but it's like if Cam Young and Matt Fitzpatrick finish double
And stink
then,
it, yeah,
but
yeah.
But we didn't think they would.
C minus,
dude. Well, and the thing is, maybe I'm just a hater, but I wanted Xander, and I think people had this expectation of him, and I think it's a fair expectation of Xander. I wanted him to take down Scottie. When he won the 2 majors, it was like, all right, dude, Xander's gonna. Now it's Cam Young. Now it's gonna be Cam Young is the guy that's gonna take down Scottie or Matt Fitzpatrick. But we thought it was gonna be Xander.
Yeah,
their names are similar sounding, so it's like it makes sense,
Yeah,
we'll have a little tongue twister group on the final pairing every Sunday.
Yeah,
dude, it's just been so disappointing, dude.
Yeah, no, I remember that year too, man, because it was a lot of debate. Who's player of the year? Is it Xander or is it Scottie? Xander has 2 majors. Scottie had a major and then a bunch of signature event wins, but the wins that Xander didn't get, he was like finishing 2nd or 3rd. So it was like true rivalry. Like, yo, who is the best golfer on tour right now? Is it Xander or Scottie? And I really feel like once he got that rib injury, it really affected him. Like, yeah, he won a FedEx Cup Fall event and stuff like that. But like for Xander, that's probably a cakewalk. Like, I'll go win this FedEx Cup Fall event real quick and be done real quick.
That's right. Well,
I'm hoping that Xander can just figure it out on Saturdays. And I guarantee, what's the day? It's May 24th. I guarantee you, if Xander continues to do what he does round 1, 2, and 4 and just plays better on Saturday, Xander will win a golf tournament. And I want us to all make sure we timestamp this. I guarantee you he will. Next person I got is Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay, this is actually super harsh, and I'm gonna be very harsh, but Bryson gets an F for this year. I know he's done well on LIV. He's got like 2 wins and a 3rd or whatever. But the final exam on the midterm, I guess, is going to dictate your grade. And his final exam performance is a 0. A freaking 0. So he gets an F.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad at it. I gave Bryson a D plus if that's even possible. And like I'm not going to act like LIV is not a thing. He has what 2 wins on LIV and 2/3, which is good. It's still golf, but your transition into majors have been horrendous, bro. And your attitude because of losing has been horrendous as well. Like what you did at LIV Mexico when you flew it out of the bunker and then got mad at the course, like you went over there, bro. No one told you to fly the green out of the bunker. And then obviously accompanied with like his pride with playing the same limb clubs and having a 6 degree the size of a 6-iron, like you're not even preparing yourself well during final exams to get good grades. So yeah, I gave Bryson DeChambeau a D plus, and again I'm giving him the plus because like I'm not neglecting LIV. Like I do watch LIV, and he has won on there twice. Like what he did in South Africa was amazing. But yeah, we just expect more of you because the same expectation, not the same expectations that I've given Scottie, but there is an expectation with Bryson DeChambeau. And you are not living up to those expectations. And when you listen to this, because we know you listen to Golf and Gospel podcast as you're recording your own YouTube channel, I think this is going to challenge you to play a lot better. And, hopefully you can get out of this yips that you're going through.
Yes, dude. I'm just 0% on final exams, dude. He didn't go to school.
Yeah, and it sucks because out of all the LIV players that played in majors this year, he is, I believe, the only one to miss both cuts. So that's also
0%, dude.
very disappointing. Very disappointing. Next person I got is Hannah Green.
Dude, A plus.
Big time.
She two wins. The only knock was that she missed the cut in Vegas.
Shadow Creek, yeah.
Yep, at Shadow Creek. But honestly, dude, that's I give it, like, I think that was that her first tournament back in the US as well?
Yes, it was.
It was
it was a combination of them and LET. So she was dominating on the LPGA Asia swing, and then she was dominating on LET. So I thought when you get both of them in the field, I'm like, she's going to destroy it. But Shadow Creek played really tough.
Well, but it's like her first event back, so there's the jet lag. And it's like you're gonna have the first event back be at this godforsaken course, you know? Like,
yeah.
So we can kind of throw that out, and
Yeah.
A plus to Hannah Green.
And I gave Hannah Green an A because of Shadow Creek. 4 total wins this year and 4 top 10s. And I don't think she's getting the recognition she deserves as the number 6 player in the world. I think CME, she's like 4th, but Rolex player, I think she's 6th. And she deserves a lot more conversation. A lot more comment. It's almost like, she's won twice, and then it's like, oh, Nelly won twice. Gino won twice. AJ Kim won twice. Oh yeah, Hannah Green won twice. It's like, what do you mean only won twice? Like, bro, like she played an impressive field on the Asian swing. You can say Nelly wasn't there or whatever. And then she won the JME Eagle. And I love Hannah Green's game because she's not someone that's like a wire-to-wire player. She's like, I'm going to stay in this top 5. Mm-hmm. Sunday comes, I'm going to turn it on. And it's just getting overlooked. And she's a major winner. I think her last major was the KPMG. I think she won. I think that might have been like 3 or 4 years ago or something like that. But Hannah Green's a very good player that's not getting the recognition she deserves. So I definitely give her an A. I mean, with the exception of Shadow Creek, man, all her cuts have been in the top 10 with the exception of the Mizuho. She got T17, which was still solid. The Mizuho, I count the Mizuho as like the Mizuho is like a Travelers to me, if I had to compare it.
Yeah, it's kind of an important event, kind of a tune-up. But the JME Eagle was an impressive win. Yeah, and that
was a long putt. That putt was in a playoff too.
Yeah, it was in a playoff, and she was slowly climbing the leaderboard. Like, was she in the final pairing? She might have been in the final pairing though. That's the thing.
I think so. I don't know. She might have been one group ahead. I'm not sure. But I just remember watching it and being like, I want Hannah Green to make this so bad. And she hurt me, bro. I also want to check this out, too, real quick. Because I had a lot of friends. I don't say a lot of friends. The ones that are loyal listeners and actually cares about what me and Nate are doing on the Golf Gospel podcast. I had a lot of friends that I was boasting in Hannah Green, saying, like, she's so good. And everybody keeps saying, like, she's playing against a weak field. She's not that good. She won the JME Eagle. And there's this expectation she's not going to do good in the Chevron. She probably got in like Monday or Tuesday because what Emma had told us, like, those flights are kind of tough to get overnight, and she's in the playoffs
or whatever.
Yeah,
in California.
And she went to Chevron and got a T7. So I'm like, I don't want to hear all that talk about Hannah Green's not doing anything or she doesn't do good against tough fields. To get a T7 at the Chevron in Houston, man, it's incredible. After what y'all try to say about her, after getting a victory, so I'm like, what are we talking about? And again, a 7 at the Honda LPGA Thailand. Then she won the HSBC Women's World Championship. Unfortunately, Shadow Creek did sneak up on her, but then came back, recovered, and got the JM Eagle. Chevron got a T7, then the Mizuho, which I just said is compared to the Travelers, in my opinion, got a T14. So I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to hear none of y'all talk about, oh, this person should be over Hannah Green. Like, stop trying to discredit her for how good of a season she's having. Hannah Green's playing incredible this year. Next person we got, man, doing our midterm grades is Charlie Hull.
I gave Charlie Hull an A. I feel like that was a little bit generous, but she won that PIF Saudi thing, and that bumped her to 3 in the world.
Wait, Charlie? It was on LET, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was like the LET.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's too generous, but that win, she got bumped up to number 3 in the world, and the other thing is I don't know if I have a ton of expectations for Charlie Hull, as a player. I think her personality and her character is one of the reasons why she's more of a mainstream kind of player. So that's why I'm like, yeah. I mean, she has won on tour, but she's never won a major. So that's probably why like I'm thinking like the kind of caliber player she is. I don't think I would put her in the tier of Hannah, Nelly, Hyoju.
Nope.
Like I don't think I think Yamashita, like I just don't know if I would put her in that tier. You know, so like she's gonna listen to this and win next weekend. So
probably right. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, she started the season at number 3, and I'm just like, and like I said, I don't think you're in the realm of a Nelly and Gino.
Yeah, so I graded her based off that. It's like she's like the Max Homa of the LPGA. Or when Max Homa was winning.
Okay,
when Max Homa was winning.
I'm about to say,
I gotta say that.
Yeah.
Yes. When Max Homa had like his 6th win. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Charlie Hull is a Russell Henley. That's what I
now
in terms of game.
Now,
in terms of game, not popularity.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Charlie Hull is
a Russell I was saying Max Homa because of popularity and game.
For sure.
Because
right. Yeah. I gave her a B- just because again, we really tried to force look at this top because the top 3 was incredible to start season off. It was Gino Titicul, Nelly Korda, and Charlie Hull. And it's like, man, this is kind of what you want on the LPGA as the top 3. And, you know, Gino winning the win early at the LPGA in Asian Swing. Nelly went over the win. And then, you know, both of them are kind of just like doing really well. And it's just like, where's Charlie in all this? You know, because I think that's what y'all want. Y'all want her part of that. And she's not. I bet in a heartbeat if they can switch Hannah and Charlie, they would. But she can't because Hannah's balling out. But Charlie Hull, man, she has 3 T10s this year. Like, that's her best. But, you know, I think 5 or 7 cuts made. I think just the way we've advertised her and her game, they don't equate and they don't match at all. So I'm giving Charlie Hull a B-. Next person we got, man, the Jordan ambassador himself, Tony Finau.
Who's that, dude? I just – is he even enrolled in our class to get midterm grades, dude? I don't know, man. Like when I pulled up his like PGA Tour thing, it was like top 10 0, or like wins 0, top 3 0, top 10 0, like 0 0 0 0, and then he has 3 top 25s.
He got a top 10 today, so with the Byron Nelson.
Yeah, top 10 today.
Yeah,
let's go. 9 of 13. You know, I was actually kind of shocked how much money he made this year because he almost made $1 million this year because he made 9 of 13 cuts and he's played in a few signature events. Right. So
with exemptions, with no cuts though. So
yeah, but so you know, I'm happy for him. I hope he stays on tour. I like he is one of those guys where I'm like I forgot he was enrolled in the class. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. D. Probably D.
I had the same take as you, man. I gave him a C-, and I'm being generous. I think just obviously how he finished today gave me some hope. So I'm like, good, Finau, because if you would play bad and miss the cut to Byron Nelson, we got to have a long conversation about maybe you switching majors because you're not playing. And I say this, as I said before, I say this as a fan of Tony Finau. If Tony Finau would have come out at the Memorial, if he's even in that field and be in contention, I'm rooting on Tony Finau so hard. Go ahead.
The other thing, too, is with Finau is he was ranked – I knew he was ranked in the top 10, but his best ranking was 9th in official golf rankings. So it's like that's what he was. He was the 9th best player in the world at one point.
Was he in the final pairing group with Tiger? Or
I remember one of the U.S. Opens, he was like the third to last group or something like that. And it was like – dude, like he was so freaking good, and I don't know what's happened. I mean, the putter is the first thing that went, and then I wonder if
he's been experimenting so much with the putter, which I don't blame him because he isn't putting well. So I don't care if you tinker if you're not doing something well. Again, Victor Hovland, you made the biggest mistake in golf history, in my opinion. But next person I got is Lynn Grant.
Another one of your favorites. So
yeah.
I don't think she's a top caliber player, but granted, even for where I would put her, I would give her a C- because I feel like she's had better years.
Yeah.
She's had better starts. She just has to figure out the day twos of her round twos, you know.
That is so true. That is so true. Yeah.
I just don't think her results or her resume is that impressive so far this year.
Yeah, I gave her a D. Like I said, by far my favorite swing on the LPGA. But I think she's dealing with an injury. She had to withdraw from one of the tournaments, but 5 and 9
Yeah.
cuts made with one top 10. And we've seen how she can play when she won the Annika at the end of the year. We know you're a good player. We know you can play the game, man. But she has to figure out
missed
something.
the cut the next week. Yeah, after the Annika, like then she or she might miss the cut before and then won the Annika.
Well, I think she missed something earlier before that because that was like playoffs. So she won the Annika, and then she just didn't do well in the Tour Championship. But her ball strike has been amazing. Her par 3 scoring average is 2.98. She's ranked number 7th. So she's really good. Her irons are so good. But, go ahead.
This is the thing is I think she's going to be a sleeper for the U.S. Open because she always does well at the U.S. Open courses. Just the way the U.S. because she hits it kind of far.
Yeah.
And she actually has like some club head speed and can have soft landings into greens. So I think she'll turn around.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm hoping for her. Like I said, I love watching her swing, man. But with her not playing well or even making cuts, it's like I don't get to watch her swing too often. So next person I got is Jordan Spieth.
Dude, Jordan Spieth. I think he's one of those students, let's say, that sits in the front of the classroom, that raises his hand every time, stuff like that, but then gets a C on every exam. And that's the grade I'm going to give him because he keeps talking about how good his game is. He keeps teasing us with round ones where he's, third or something like that in the field. And we're like, Spieth is back. We're like, this is the year Spieth is going to get his Grand Slam. And then it's like, was he in the field? On Sunday, that's what we say. We're like, is he even in the field?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, dude. Spieth, just stop teasing us, dude. And then it'll be better.
And it's funny because I gave him a C-, but it's kind of like when you're in class and you ask a question, he raises his hand, he gets it right. Raise his hand, he gets it right. It's like, he knows what he's doing. Then the test comes, it's like, what is happening? You just like, you got a 72 on your exam, man. But, I mean, just looking at Spieth, we talked about him enough already. I mean, I'm blaming the fans on this one, too, because you guys keep gassing us up saying Spieth is back, Spieth is back. So I started to unintentionally believe it. Like, is he actually back? And then he shoots a 62, and it's like, he might actually be back. And then what do he do? Shoot 74 the next day, man. So, I'm going to have to just go with a C-, man. I think he is a guy who's a try-hard guy who's going to work harder to improve his grade. But are you going to continue to raise your hand during regular class sessions and get the answer right? And then I'm going to give you the test? And do you come out and get a C+ on the test? TBD. 2 more to go here, man. Anthony Kim.
Okay. So this is the thing with AK is, again, final exam dictates everything, okay? So I'm going to give Anthony Kim an A+ because he was a guy, let's not forget, okay? He was a guy that was relegated. He was a guy that nobody cared about. No one had any expectations for him. It's like he's like the guy that, I don't know, got into Harvard on accident. Or he's a guy that just goes to these, sits in on these Harvard lectures and then aces the exam on this one exam, but then doesn't show up the rest. But what he did at Adelaide, and honestly, I should have said this when we talk about Bryson's grade. The only thing that was good about Bryson's season was that he was in the final pairing with AK. That was the only thing good about his season so far. So, anyways, big fan of AK.
Yeah.
He did okay in other live events, okay? And I think him not getting exemptions into other majors is the reason why we're omitting, I guess, some of those realities and just being like, all right, that's what I am at least, and that's why he's getting an A.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I gave him a B, a solid B. I'm not going to neglect what he did at Adelaide like Brandel Chambly's doing. I'm going to literally talk about how impressive that win was because, again, he was down 6 strokes, and he's going against 2 top-tier golfers, and Bryson DeChambeau and John Rahm, and came back and beat them. And, bro, I'm going to just be honest, man. I go back and watch Anthony Kim's final 7 holes all the time at Adelaide because it was just such an impressive comeback, man.
Yeah.
And
putting clinic.
Yes, and to his credit as well, in his last event on LIV, he carried the 4 aces to victory. I think he was the leading scorer on the 4 aces to win in Virginia as well. So he's still doing some glimpses of some good things. Unfortunately, he was in contention after day 1 in Virginia, and he needed to win to get into the U.S. Open. Unfortunately, he didn't. I forgot who won that. Lucas Herbert, I think, won that tournament. I could be wrong, but yeah, I think AK solid B with obviously plenty of golf left. I think they're going to be in Korea, this upcoming week, and I hope he can get another victory. I would love to see him get another victory just to get some more official world golf ranking points. Don't know what that may do for maybe the Open or something like that, but I think we all want to see AK in a major to some degree. And last person we got is Jon Rahm.
Dude, so Jon Rahm, I give him an A because at the PGA Championship, he did really well.
He did.
He made the cut at the Masters. You would expect him to do more at the Masters because he's won there before.
Yeah.
But
he won it starting off with a double on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I expect him to do one, but it's still an A. And he's done really well on the LIV Tour. The only thing, dude, with Jon Rahm is Aaron Rai saved Brandel Chambly from talking about LIV and Jon Rahm
or Cam Smith.
and Cam Smith. But Rahm was second, so that's why I was like, okay, so I got second. So I'm like, Aaron Rai, dude, if that guy didn't exist, Brandel would have to be like, all right, LIV, here's your flowers. I don't even think he'll say that. He'll just be like,
what would he say? That's the I don't know what happened to your light, but I don't know what he would actually say if Jon Rahm won. And unfortunately, we got to wait, 2 more majors for a LIV person to maybe win to see what Brandel might say. He might fake a sickness and be like, I can't talk about this. I got the stomach bug, just to avoid talking about LIV players. I don't know. We'll see though, man. But I gave Jon Rahm a B+. He's number 1 on LIV in terms of season positioning. Very impressive showing at the PGA Championship. You just alluded to losing to Aaron Rai, but did very, very well. But we just look at his schedule of events on LIV. He got a second at Riyadh. He got a second at Adelaide, unfortunately blowing the lead to Anthony Kim. He got his first win at Hong Kong. He got 5th at Singapore, second in South Africa, losing in a playoff, I believe, to Bryson DeChambeau. Yep, and then he came back, won in Mexico City, and then got a T8 in Virginia, but he didn't let that affect him, then went on to the PGA Championship to get a second. The only reason why it stopped him from getting an A is, again, T38 at the Masters, which isn't bad, but we don't expect that for Jon Rahm. If, if, again, like, let's say, if Joaquin, not even Joaquin even, man, but like, if Lucas Herbert went over, they got T38, sure. Sergio Garcia, who made the cut, sure. You that's where your game is, 38th and stuff right now. But to see Rahm get out, it's like, not bad, but like not your caliber player. But I'll give Jon Rahm a B+, man. So, guys, if you're still listening, man, please let us know what you think about the midseason grades, man. Do you think we were a little harsh? Do you think we were too soft? Let us know in the comments, man, because obviously midseason grades are super important. But Nate, I do want to get over to our gospel portion, and obviously we talk about the gospel a lot and some of the theological things with scripture and stuff like that, but let's just kind of go back to the simplicity of what is the gospel. And Nate, I'd love for you to give your take on that.
Yeah, I want to just give components because I really want, this is more or less, I want people who are believers to ask themselves this question a lot. And I'm going to go help out at a FCA golf camp this summer. And I recently just became a member at my church, like officially a member at my church. I've been attending. And that was one of the things we talked about. So as I get prepared for this golf camp, it's like, what is the gospel? And when we were doing the membership class, it was like, what's the gospel? And I think if you're a believer, if you claim that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, you should be able to answer that question pretty quickly. But I mean, I guess I'll kind of go over components. I feel like we should always have some sort of, I think creation has to be in there. Like we have to be like, we were created by God in his image. And I think another component is like the fall of man, we sinned and we rebelled against God. The fact that God is holy and cannot be in the presence of sin, and then how we were made right, and then how we gain. I don't say gain it, but like
I know what you're saying.
But how we are made right, and then how we're gonna be with God forever. I feel like those are the components that has to be in the gospel. And I want people to just be like, how would you just put that in a sentence? that's like a challenge for our listeners.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great take, bro. And I agree wholeheartedly with all those things. Even just for me, coming to know Christ, I have a hard time conceptualizing saying like, man, we were put on earth to live and die. So, that gives me a belief in something, which obviously I choose to believe in God. And because of prior to giving my life to Christ, the struggles to be good all the time and earn my way to salvation is just impossible. So I'm like, there has to be a way for me to, dwell in the kingdom of God, outside of like works, because it's just too hard to be good all the time. So simply the gospel is the good news about what Jesus Christ has done to reconcile us sinners, including myself. Even though I boast in Jesus all the time, I am the worst of worst. That's what Paul said. I'm the foremost worst of all sinners. And I'm including myself in that category. What Christ did on the cross, man, he reconciled sinners to God. And I love what it says in Romans 3:23, it says, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So all of us, me, your favorite pastor, your favorite, professional athlete that talks about Jesus, we have all fall short of the glory of God, man. And the beauty of what Nate just said about the free gift in regards to salvation is all we have to do is accept that gift. And there is nothing we can do to earn that. So I want to make this clear too, man. The gospel is not be a good person and earn heaven, which counters what the LDS believe in the teachings of 2 Nephi 25:23, which states, for we know that it is by grace that we have been saved after all we can do, which that contradicts what it says in Ephesians 2:8. It is by grace through faith we have been saved, not by works, so no one may boast. And that's what we, as me, Nate, and other believers, want you to come to accept. The gospel also is not simple moral advice or self-improvement. Again, there is a sanctification process that has been being done in each and one of us to make us more holy, but it's not about like, I want to live a better moral life, so let me do this. I gave a sermon at the Bridge of the Valley Church 2 weeks ago, and I talked about how I just lost my train of thought a little bit. How when it comes to the work aspect of things, it's not that we're doing works to earn salvation, but we look at Ephesians 2:10. It talks about how we were created as his workmanship to do good works. And the evidence of our salvation is based on the works that we are displaying, not vice versa. It's not do works to be saved, but based off my salvation, you see me doing good works. And I want us to come to understand it. And also the gospel is not just a political or cultural identity. So again, in simple terms, the gospel is the good news in regards to Jesus Christ and what he done on the cross. And we want you to understand that the gospel is about grace. Grace is the unmerited favor, the free gift that God has given us to be able to dwell with him. No matter how much we sin, we cannot out-sin God's grace. He is always going to be able to cover that sin. And also with me saying that, that doesn't give us the freedom to say, I'm going to abuse God's grace. I'm going to continue to sin because I can't answer in his grace. But again, if we're truly saved, we will see that we have a repentant heart, and the fruits of our salvation will be on display to turn away from that sin and not abuse his grace. Despite us all falling short of the glory of God, we will not abuse his grace, or we will be intentional about being intentional sinners. We'll be intentional about not being intentional sinners. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So again, we were created for good works, but we cannot work to earn our salvation. But the simple understanding of what the gospel is the good news in regards to Jesus Christ dying on the cross for our sins. And it says in John 14:6, when Jesus told his disciples, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one can get to the Father except through me. And he wants us, he yearns for us to have that relationship with him, just to simply believe in him. And I've said this on Golf and Gospel, the show. I end the show with this every single time. Romans 10:9 says, if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and you believe in your heart he was raised from the dead, you will be saved. And if you're still listening to this podcast, I hope you don't think that this Jesus gospel stuff is a bunch of cultish, blah, 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 blah. Like, me and Nate love talking about golf. Y'all hear us talk all these stats and these players. We love the game of golf, man. But we so desperately want you to come to know Jesus, man. And Nate, I love what you're saying. Always like being prepared to have an answer for that. I believe it's, oh man, I don't want to be wrong. I think it's 1 Peter 3:15 when it talks about always having a defense prepared for your hope in the gospel. Right? Let me make sure. Let me make sure I ain't wrong, man, because I want people to go look it up and be like, well, that ain't right.
All right. Yeah.
But I think I'm right, and if I'm wrong, hey, I'm wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. I have humility.
Yeah.
I know it's a real verse. I'm trying to make sure that I'm saying the right verse. Yes, it is.
Peter 3:15.
1 Peter 3:15. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the ESV version though. Yeah, it says, but in your hearts revere Christ as Lord, always being prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give a reason for the hope that you have, but do this with gentleness and respect. I think that last part is huge. Do it with gentleness and respect, because when we see like these street activists or these street preachers condemning and like telling people you're going to hell and you're terrible and like just being so harsh to them,
that's not biblical. Yeah.
What makes us believe that like that interaction is really what's going to get them to Christ? Now, if you're, out there and you're preparing yourself to have theological debates, I'm okay. As long as you do it with gentleness and respect, I have no problem with that. But when we start calling people stupid, you're an idiot, well, go burn in hell, what makes you think that interaction is going to say like, dang, I should give my life to Christ? So I love what it says at the end of 1 Peter 3:15, but do this with gentleness and respect. And in short, because I don't want to take it too much longer, man, this is something I really have to fight in the league, bro, because a lot of teammates kind of like abused my meekness, because it's like they thought it was soft. But I'm like, man, I'm really trying to reflect the characteristics of the gospel, man. Like, I'm not weak. And if you watch my special team tape, I will go out there and thump somebody. So like, I ain't soft by any means, but that's just that's the character that we're called to do, man. To be gentle, to be meek, to be respectful, man. And I just want to make sure that, man, as Christian athletes, we're displaying, the characteristics of the gospel, but you can still be a dog in your sport. So don't think that being a Christian athlete is soft. But yeah, overall, that's what the gospel is, and we both hope you come to understand that, have questions about it, whatever that may be. But we appreciate you guys listening to this episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast, man. We promise to have some more guests on in the future. I hope you guys stayed along for what me and Nate talked about. Please debate us in the comments. Say something, man. Continue to help us grow this thing. Like I said, we have a lot of friends that talk to us about golf where they ask us questions. If you do that, we're just going to send you the link to this podcast. I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation with you. I'll send you the timestamp so you don't have to watch the whole thing. I'll say, hey, man, if you go listen to the time 5 minutes to 7 minutes, you get your answer right there. But again, guys, we'll see you guys on the next episode of Golf and Gospel Podcast after the Charles Schwab, and I believe the women play like the Kroger City something. I can't remember, but
yeah, they got.
We'll see you guys.
I don't remember.
Yeah. And I think there might be a live event too, but we'll see you to talk more golf later. Peace.
Peace.